Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about Batwoman Season 3, Episode 1, which is titled The Mad Hatter. So in Season 2, at the end of Season 2, we saw a bunch of Batman villain weapons dumped into the river, which was easily over a dozen weapons we learned in this season. So we had the Penguin's umbrella, we saw a cutting of poison ivy, which actually grew out and attach itself to land. We had some Mr. Freeze stuff, we had some Bane stuff, and obviously in this one we had Jervis Tetch's hat. Which is interesting because in previous iterations of him, he doesn't use technology really. He has actual powers, or in Gotham he uses literal hypnosis, which is never explained. He just has the ability to hypnotize people. So this iteration is a younger kid who happens to find the hat that washed up on shore. Makes me wonder if any other things, because it's kind of weird that Poison Ivy's thing kind of bloomed there, and then the hat was also there, but nothing else. Anyway, her Poison Ivy's, or what we think is a cutting of Poison Ivy, does get jumped around in the black market, we find out. And we find out later on that it's actually not the real one. It's actually a fake, so the real one must have actually got out, and it could be a symbiote thing where it's gonna go back to her and try to find her or something. I don't really know how her powers work yet in the show. But anyway, back to the actual Mad Hatter stuff. I don't remember the guy's name, but this is the new version, who kind of is gonna, I guess, be the new iteration, which is essentially what they're doing as far as villains go this season. So we talk about. I want to talk about the Alice stuff because that was a big thing in this episode. So we saw Alice in prison writing letters to her dad, and what we think are letters to her dad, and we find out later on in the episode that it's actually just her psychosis, and that the letters were actually just, all made up in her mind, and she's just going a little bit crazy, which is really unfortunate. I actually felt really bad for this entire episode, since upon asking for her help, the whole Bat crew just kind of screws her over, and after they make a deal wherein they let her go at the end, they kind of screwed her over and sent her back to Arkham, which is completely understandable, and something that if it was last season, or even season 1, they probably would have let her go, which I found kind of interesting. In this one, they just actually did lock her back up. And then at the end, though, we find out that Renee Montoya and her have made a deal in which Alice, which I think is completely fair, sells out Batwoman and everyone else for a deal with Montoya that she gets free time and whatever other stuff that she is allowed in her deal. And on Montoya, which is a person that was in Gotham as the same character, we have her now leading a rogues unit to go after all the villains that all the villains' weapons and stuff that we saw released at the end of Season 2. So we have now, at the end, Batwoman working with Renee Montoya to kind of get all the weapons back that they had lost all in Season 2. So that I found that interesting that now there's a whole team between Alice, Renee Montoya, and Batwoman. Kind of an inadvertent team up, since Renee is kind of blackmailing Batwoman at the moment. And kind of the last thing I want to talk about is Batwing, because he was kind of my favorite part of kind of the episode, and he's gonna probably continue to be my favorite part of the series moving forward. We saw Luke Fox donning the Batwing suit. He previously wore it, I think, once or twice toward the end of Season 2. So in this episode we got to see him actually use it, and we got to see him fly around with it, we got to see him do some cool shit with it. And unfortunately the suit is glitching, so we're gonna have to see how he deals with that this season. Yeah, so Batwing continues to be my favorite part of, or one of my favorite parts of the show, and like I said, will probably continue to be one of my favorite parts of the show, because of the energy that the character brings to it, and the suit's just really cool, and so I look forward to seeing possible upgrades. And another Batwing, toward the end we got to see he kind of has a Superman Fortress of Solitude situation with his dad, in which there's an AI program of Luke Fox in the suit. So I look forward to seeing what they do with that. And, yeah, so this episode was pretty fun. It really just came out with, like, I like that they're doing, like, villain, kind of like a villain of the week thing, so I look forward to see what they're doing with that. I really look forward to see what they do with the Penguin umbrella, because it was confirmed in the previous season that he was, in fact, alive, and currently running the Iceberg Lounge. So, I look forward to see what they do with, like, that particular villain object. Yeah. So, this episode was good. I look forward to seeing how the season goes. Look out for more videos. Bye.